It's about expanding a single bracket with surds. The question is expand and simplify. So what we have here is we've got root 5 bracket root 5 minus 1. We use the same rules as algebra, where the root 5 is going to multiply by the root 5 first, and then it's going to multiply by the minus 1. Now, in my previous video about multiplying surds, we looked at a rule where if we multiply the same surd, so root 5 times root 5, we get 5. And the reason behind that is, I'll just remind you, so root 5 times root 5, remember 5 times 5 is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. So really you can go straight from root 5 times root 5 to 5. So the first answer that I'll write here is root 5 times root 5 is 5. Root 5 times minus 1 is minus root 5. Or we can say minus 1 root 5. And that's it. There's no other simplifying that we can do here. Next example, root 2 bracket 3 plus root 6. Root 2 times 3 is 3 root 2. Root 2 times root 6 is root 12. 2 times 6 is 12. Now, if we look at these two values, 3 root 2, that's in its simplest form, but we can simplify root 12. We can do that at the sides. Factors of 12, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Pick the pair that has the highest square number. 4 is the highest square number, so it's 3 and 4 that we're going to pick. Replace root 12 by root 4 times root 3. Notice I always write down the square number first. Root 4 is, the square root of 4 is 2. 2 times root 3. Well, that gives us 2 root 3. So what I'm going to do is replace the square root of 12 by 2 root 3. So 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. I'll just write that out again. 2 root 3 in there. Now remember the rules of adding and subtracting surds. These are not the same number, they're not the same surds, so we're not able to add them. It's just as if we had 3x plus 2y. We can't add them. So that's the final answer. Okay, next example. C. So 2 root 3 times root 8 plus 1. So we're going to multiply 2 root 3 by root 8. Now remember that's a 1 root 8. So we multiply the numbers first. 2 times 1 is 2. And then we multiply the surds. Root 3 times root 8 is root 24. 2 root 3 times 1 is just 2 root 3. Have a look at your answer and see if you can simplify anything. So the root 24 can be simplified. 2 root 3 is in its simplest form, so we're not going to do anything with that. So take the root 24 to the side and simplify it. Factors of 24, 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. Let's go for the highest square number. 4 is the highest square number, so we're going to pick this pair. So replace it by the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. Square root of 4 is 2, so that gives us 2 root 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the root 24 by 2 root 6. So this 2 stays where it is, and what that means is 2 times root 24. So 2 times 2 root 6 plus 2 root 3. So my last step is to multiply these together. So 2 times 2 is 4, and that gives us 4 root 6 plus 2 root 3. And remember, the roots, the surds aren't the same, so we can't add them together. So it's just as if we had 4x plus 2y. Can't add it together. So that's my final answer. Let's try another example. D. 2 root 12 bracket root 3 plus root 6. So again, we multiply out the brackets. So 2 root 12 is going to multiply by root 3. Now remember, that's a 1 root 3. So the numbers are going to multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. And then the surds are going to multiply each other. So root 12 times root 3 is root 36. 2 root 12 times root 6. Again, it's the same idea. Root 6 is on its own, which means there's a 1 there. So we multiply 2 times 1 is 2. Root 12 times root 6 is root 72. So let's have a look here. Now the square root of 36, we know 36 is a square number. And this means 2 times root 36. So the square root of 36 is 6. So that just means 2 times 6 plus 2 root 72. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 2 root 72. So the only thing we have to do here is simplify root 72. So let's have a look. 72. The factors of 72 are 1 times 72, 2 times 36. Now remember, if you're in the exam and you're really stuck about how many times 2 goes into 72, just do a division at the sides. 2 into 7 is 3, remainder 1. 2 into 12 is 6. Okay, so do the division, don't be afraid of doing that. How many times does 3 go into 72 again? Let's do the division. If you can't do it in your head, just do the division at the sides. 3 into 7 is 2, remainder 1. 3 into 12 is 4, so 3 and 24. How many times does 4 go into 72? Do the division, let's see. 4 into 7 is 1, remainder 3. 4 into 32 is 8, so 4 times 18. Okay, 5 won't go in. How about 6? Now, 6 times 12 is 72. So you don't actually have to do the division. So watch out for that. So 6 times 12. 7 won't go in. How about 8 and 9? Now, I wouldn't have usually gone on from here. If you notice on our second line, there we are, we've got the highest square number, which is 36, so you don't really have to keep going. But just in case, if you don't know what the numbers are, you know, when you put, say, 2 into 72 or 4 into 72, just do the division at the sides, okay? So, we've got the highest square number already. So 36 is my highest square number. So I'm going to simplify root 72. So root 36 times root 2. Square root of 36 is 6, root 2. So I go back to my question. 12 stays as it is. I've got 2 times root 72. So I'm going to replace the root 72 by 6 root 2. So that just means 2 times 6 root 2. 12 plus 2 times 6 is 12, root 2. Now 12 is on its own, it's not multiplying by a surd. Okay, so if it was 12 root 2 plus 12 root 2, then we can add them together. But here it's just like saying 12 plus 12x. We can't add them together, so we leave them as is. Okay, so that's that example finished. Thank you.